Hello everyone, it's Jacob from Tech Retrospective, and today we are going to be doing a unboxing of our Commodore 64 and a ton of fun accessories for it. And before we get started, I wanted to say we have a Discord now, so there'll be links to that in the description, maybe a card, I don't know. But there'll be links in the description, so you should totally 100% join our Discord so you can participate in deciding future videos and whatnot. So, yeah, let's get started. So here's our box for the Commodore 64. It's very weathered, you'll notice. A little beat up, but not in too bad of a condition considering it's from probably 1983, 1984. You know, it's pretty old. It does have some writing on it. It says NAVE, hooray. 64K of memory, that's shown very prominently on the box. The personal computer with professional power, new from Commodore. I very much like the Commodore 64 logo, the nice color to show off, hey, it's a colorful system. We've got the most important thing, which is graphs. And on the back, we have a picture of the computer with a bunch of the optional accessories. That's a little false advertising-y because you don't get a disk drive, you don't get a printer, you don't even get a monitor. What's wrong, Commodore? Why are you doing this? It says you can get personal business aids, communication, education, plus entertainment. It's weird that entertainment's the plus when that was the primary thing these systems were used for. Number one on the list was gaming. Let's see inside. Now, I do know there's some interesting things with this system that we'll get to. First things first, let's look in the extra compartment. We have a TV modulator. This one's very grimy. It's missing one of the screw-in hooks. That's quite common of an issue with those types of things. I hate those things. We also have this rather strange, massive power supply. It's in really bad condition. We are not going to be using this. We bought a brand new power supply, a replacement power supply for the thing. Because you don't want to use sketchy power supplies with your Commodore 64. And here's the system itself. It is a little yellowed. They do, well, I guess they brown, not yellow. You know, we're used to saying this computer is yellowed from sun damage, but for the C64, it's a browning that they do. They're supposed to be gray. I do like the keys on this keyboard. I don't know if I would use that long term though. You will notice, if you're a Commodore 64 expert, that there is something a little off with this. The previous owner modded the system themselves a little to add something that the Commodore 64 is very much lacking, and that's right here. We have a reset button added to it. It looks to be a pretty good mod, just there's no holes or screws sticking out, so they must have done a pretty good job with that. You can see the more original, like, charcoal color of the system on the back. It's got all its feet, which is good, because that's always annoying when you're trying to type on your computer and it's wobbling on you. Ports look good. There's no obvious, like, rust or anything. It looks to be in pretty good shape outside of the slight browning. Now, you might be saying, oh, that's not all that interesting. It's just a Commodore 64. There are millions of the things. Well, we also have this box. This box is filled with accessories and manuals and stuff, and we're gonna take a look through it together. I'm gonna not put it here because that's going to take up the full screen and I won't be able to show you things. So I'm going to have it off to the side here, and we're going to pull things out one by one. First of all, we have our Commodore 64 Programmer's Reference Guide. It is spiral bound, even though the spirals are a little weird on it. They're going to have to be fixed. Spiral bound manuals are great. The Commodore 64's manual, it's pretty good. I could probably learn to program some stuff with this. But I'm not very creative. I'd rather just play games. Next we have the same manual, but in better condition. Oh, why do you have two of them? I don't know. That's a good question. What's next? I'm just grabbing things out of the box. We have a game. Speed Bingo Speed / Bingo Math. Oh, I thought this would be a game on tape, but no, it's a cartridge game. I guess that makes sense. Interesting. You don't see all that many games on cartridge. And it's a actual, like, Commodore. That's pretty cool. It's a very basic cartridge, though. There's nothing fancy about it. You don't get any cool artwork for your bingo. What's next? We have a VIC-20 Programmer's Guide. So obviously this did not come with the system, but I suppose it's a 6502, so everything but your graphic and sound commands are probably going to be exactly the same. And even then, the Commodore doesn't really have graphic or sound commands. It's all pokes and peeks. What is in the back here? Oh, that's cool. Whoa, it's a schematic for the computer itself. It's all your chips, all your... Oh, that's super cool. I might hang this on a wall. That looks pretty cool. It's for the VIC-20, so obviously it's useless for this computer, but that's super cool. What's next? More VIC-20. All right, we have the VIC-20, a friendly computer guide. This is, a lot of people say it's one of the best, like, introduction to computer guides around. I've never read through it, so maybe I'll have to do that. We've got a ton more stuff. Okay. Next we have computes. That's really weird that it's an exclamation point then an apostrophe S, but I suppose it's compute. Commodore Collection, Volume 1. So there's tons of write-in basic programs. I've never actually written in a basic program in my life. Maybe that's something I'll have to do. What do you guys think? Oh, we've still got tons more. Next, joystick. The box is quite messed up, but it's kind of surprising there even is a box for it. We have a Commodore joystick, something I've never used. Let's see my first impressions. That button is terrible. That's truly awful. Hopefully the stick's better. No, the stick is worse. Oh, this would be... How would you... This is one of the worst joysticks I have ever used. And I've used some really bad joysticks. That's terrible. And someone paid money for this? Because this isn't included. This was an extra add-on you had to buy separately. Oh, that's awful. And we got another one. Hooray. This one's shinier, though. That one didn't have any shine to it. This one's got the Commodore. It's all silvery, yeah. It's still an awful joystick. I really dislike that. We have VIC-20 paddles. I can hear something Yeah, one of these is a little busted up. There should not be a rattle. I've never used one of these before either. So let's see if it's any better than that joystick. Button? Not great, but not terrible. And you know what? This is actually pretty good. I like these. Significantly better than the joystick. What's next? I don't know what this is. It's got a... It's a printer Turbo Print high performance printer interface. I see no reason for us to ever need to print anything from our Commodore 64, so that's kind of useless, but pretty cool. Next we have the connection. It's a little printed manual for a printer thing. The connection, parallel printer interface. So is that the same thing but named differently, or is it a different printer interface connection? I don't know. Important. This is your unit warranty registration. Fill it out now and mail. Don't delay. See inside for special offers. Oh, I better make sure to mail this in because it told me to do so now. Anyone got a pen? Yeah, all right. Okay, whatever. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on that. Next, we have how to get more out of your Commodore computer. Pay us money. Dial up our paperless user magazine. That sounds pretty cool. Power Play. Anyone ever subscribed to this back in the day? Tell me how it was. What's next? Commodore 1541 disk drive manual. This is pretty weird considering we do not have a Commodore 1541 disk drive. But if we ever do pick one up, here's the manual for it. So now we'll know how to use it, I guess. Next, we have a Commodore 64 user's manual. This is not the same manual. This is more the general user manual. Looks pretty good. Does it have a schematic in the back? No, but it's got something. I'm going to pull this off so I can read it. What's it say? PC computers from San Pablo, nope, El Centero. It's the receipt. Let's see how much they paid. They bought Frogger, the Commodore 64. Oh, it's just software. They bought... Why is this in here? Someone just stuck their receipt in here, I guess? I suppose if you don't want to lose your receipt for the games you bought, that's not a terrible... Mastering your VIC-20 through 8 basic projects. VIC Player? That one's probably not going to work with the C64. Let's see, which ones will? The Answer Machine for Word Detective. Oh, it's showing you how to do sprites and everything to make a clock. That's a pretty cool little manual. I wonder how compatible it'll actually be with the C64. I mean, the basics are the same, but a lot of your custom commands are not going to be. Your pokes and peeks are going to be different. Commodore 64, favorite programs explained. Man, this package would be great if you're specifically trying to learn BASIC. This is quite a good bundle, and we love getting, like manuals and stuff. It's good to have, great for scanning for videos and stuff, and, in case something goes wrong. We have another box. This one has both of the screw and plugs intact and is in much better condition, so we'll probably use this one instead of the other one because that's pretty awful. Next is a manila envelope filled with it's all like photocopied Flight Operations Manual, F-15 Strike Eagle. I don't think that's for the actual... Yeah, so these are like photocopied instruction manuals. That is very useful to have. I don't think we have any of the software that matches them, but you never know. We got a binder. same thing. More and more rats. Rats. Oh, it's basic. That's a lot of basic to type in. Wow. So are these all print applications? Electronic notepad. This is going to be real fun to go through on its own. What's all in here? Manuals. Okay. There's so much documentation in these. That's great. And we have a laminated Commodore 64 quick reference card. So it just got like the different commands on it? Yes, it does. And it's super... Oh, that's extremely musty smelling. And we have another one of these binders. Let's see, anything interesting in this one? There's not much in it. I guess the user didn't get to fill it nearly as much as the other one. The newsroom. Huh. Those are going to be very fun to page through. And believe it or not, that's it. That's everything we have for the system. That's quite a lot to go through. I hope you enjoyed it. I am really looking forward to discovering more with the Commodore 64. I've personally never used a 64. I have used the VIC-20 quite a bit, but never a 64, so this is going to be really fun for me. And if you're excited to see more Commodore 64 stuff, you should subscribe. We do have a first look video for the 64 coming out, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.